today. Just about a few minutes ago, I re-enrolled for my retirement. I had my retirement, was doing really well, and I pulled out to bury my son. And it's been just hard. Even when I had the opportunities to do it, it's been a while, 2013. Now it's a few days from my birthday. September 30th will be my birthday. And it'll be 9 years I buried my son. But we have to move on. They say, no, we have to move up. Because if I move on, it talks about a sense of abandonment. And people who haven't lost a child, who haven't lost anything they loved, will always be the ones to criticize you the most. I was listening to a conversation on FM 97.9, and was a teacher asked down, or was it cool doing that? And J-Mac and some of the hostesses, and we're talking about Future selling his music work for 75 million. And everybody was criticizing it. That's too much. I think the music is still worth it. And it's a right to have your opinion. The right for people to think they have an opinion over your life sort of emboldens them to intrude, to criticize even for what they haven't felt, haven't been through, may never be through. And they use that as an excuse to be cruel and cold and demean what you've been through. But this morning, I'm encouraging all those that are feeling pain in their heart. Even my own blood sister said to me, you and your long mourning. It's my mourning. She's right. It's my story. Stop defending yourself. You have a right to feel how you want to feel, when you want to feel. The most important thing is, don't ever, like with me, if I lose my home, I will never stay with my blood siblings. Never. Just all the people that do not appreciate you are not the people that you run to. And God knows it. Everybody in my life knows it. Even my son knows it. I would rather pick from the trash than become a pain to any family. I have been strong. I have taken charge of my life. I have my few that I cry on their shoulders, but not everybody that holds hands with you is wishing you well. So, my brother, you lost your child. My sister, you lost your son. I did too. But you just may be going about it all wrong. You find the strength. Yeah. I said to the guy this morning registering me, I said, I have a right to be silly because I buried a son. I buried a child. And he said, people need to learn a lesson from you. Yeah, I have a right. I'm not going to let you frustrate me. Even at work when they say too much, I don't care if you're CEO, CNO, GEO, I don't care. I will tell you, please, would you give me a few minutes to get my thoughts together? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing to you. It just emboldened me. Now I'm emboldened. I won't make excuses. I think before I speak, and I know how I want to be treated. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter. It's just how we ask to be treated right, sometimes that matters. It's not asking to be treated right. The people that are already treating you wrong know. And those that are not ready to cooperate with you will leave you alone. Or you leave them alone. That's your right. When a child dies on you, you become like an airplane, except if you're wicked and you don't give them. Now, it's not like I don't want to talk about the men, but I am appealing to the sense of loss within the women. I'm sorry, because we all know that it is easier for a man to move along, have 3, 4 children, replace the memory that is gone, but there's still some fathers that are hurting. And to those ones, I speak the same as I speak to most women, because you missed your child as much as the space and vacuum that you created in them to fill before they were gone. Yes, there are people that are mothers whose children die and they just, well, I have, I already have 9 other, 7 other, 6 other, 5 other. Some women are like that. And they'll say, well, the trouble was too much. It wasn't like that for me. And I pray today that may our heart become keen and open and loving to every single child we birth, because nobody can replace anybody with some other person. God has a will, a way, and the impact that each and every one of our children bear. I know they're silly, they eat your food and make noise, and most of them are ungrateful. But there's a phase, some of them are grateful, and some of them will learn to be grateful. But in most, if not oftentimes, at least 90 something percent, I've not done the statistics, a lot of our kids become more grateful as they grow up. But will we as parents make room for them to make a U-turn and show their vulnerability? Or are we still going to keep on holding what they did, what they said in their ignorance against them? It is not easy to be a mother. Over 2, 3, 4 children. Can you imagine if I didn't love Daniel enough? Can you even begin to imagine if I felt, oh, David was this, David was that, David was that? May God teach us to balance the love we have for our children. The ones that are loving and showing us, and the ones that still need to learn to love and to show us. They do what they do. We pray over them and we leave our heart open for God to make that decision to touch their heart. I'm not here to sound fancy. I'm not here to sound all knowledgeable. This is a vulnerable moment. Notice I've not brushed my teeth. I just got up from the bed. But I love this. I don't know who wrote this, but every time I read it, I smile. Can you read with me? It says, live simply, compromise, laugh out loud. I love to laugh a lot. Laugh out loud, speak kindly, trust where you need to. Always think of safety. Be thankful, always. Practice patience. Apologize when we need to. Beat down the ego. You only can do that yourself. Forgive. Forgive. Forgiveness does not mean predisposing yourself to the same abuse. You let go. No plan to revenge anything. Be open to help if they come. But you don't have to put yourself in their presence to abuse over and over again. You can remove yourself. Say, I love you. We have to. You never know. You never know. Just going down the street to buy a loaf of bread could become a different story. Don't take this life for granted. Appreciate one another. Always. That's how I deal with my kids. This is how I deal with them now. With the one that's left with me, with Daniel. with Sarah, with Anthony, with Seja, with TJ, with Sinzu, with all of them. I'm gracious. I'm gracious. Thanks, Anthony. Oshio coming. Modupe, oh, they're John Tory along. Why don't you check this thing for me? Always making them feel like they have that much power to make a choice, even though you know that they will not be able to find the disrespect or the hate or the ignorance to turn you down. Even as they're doing it willingly, I still love to appreciate and let them know that I recognize their time. Because if they say they won't do it, what would I do? Beat them to death? Start building bitterness? No. And then believe. Believe that tomorrow will be more beautiful than today. Believe. Believe that God didn't just single you out to punish you. Believe. Believe that those things that are painful today will find a place to be just a little subtly discomforted. People talk about healing. Do you know that we as humans can refuse to heal? I don't want to fully heal as a mother. See, this cracked, this wall, see how smooth, how beautiful? That's how it feels when you're whole. And then a child dies, something happens, and you want me to pray for God to make it like this? Like nothing ever happened. No, I'm sorry, I don't want that. I want to heal, but I want to feel the roughness of the patching. I always want to walk by and touch. I'm sorry. I'm actually stronger than this. I'm sorry. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Just that what people expect, and I don't really give a shit about what they expect. It's how I feel healing what I know that I feel. You didn't know, my David. Even right now, most of you still don't know his brother Daniel. How wonderful, how hardworking, how respectful, how kind, how honest he is. I just came this morning to let you know that there are things that we need to be doing here if we need to live victorious. And part of that is making arrangement for old age, for when we're tired and can't do much anymore. Don't depend on family and friends for everything. Make your retirement plan, especially if you're abroad and you live, in that system. A lot of us are very foolish. We've used a lot of our strength to invest at home. Sometimes I see the things that were built at home, the mansions, the lands, and ẹlẹ́nẹ́lì onígbàṣe wá ṣe o ayé òdẹ ní ayé òní jogún wa. Let's just become wiser, begin to make arrangements here. There are a lot of even white people who plan to retire and go to Florida. They will never see Florida. Let's put our assets oftentimes so we can reach out easily. I'm not saying don't do things at home. Do things at home modestly so that when you go, you don't have to depend on people. But most of the things we do at home, other people will inherit. You know that, right? Okay. If you don't, I'm telling you. I already have somebody that I'm going to write mine off to. So it's not necessarily that what I have at home is going to have to work hand in hand with my son and whatever they decide to do with it. Because I know I'll never live there. I just built for my mom so that she'll have a place where she's comfortable, since she seems to be most comfortable in that area. So that's okay. And it is well. So don't be ashamed to wear the badge of honor of being strong, even though you've lost what everybody wakes up every morning praying they'll never lose. When some people talk, I tell them, okay, you pray that what happened to me should happen to you. Why are you cursing? No, it's not a curse. Then how dare you think you need to tell me how to feel when I lost that much? Because Esther, when she lost, actually she lost two, you only lost one. God punish you. And then after he's finished punishing you, may he forgive you. People who have no idea, who have never been through stuff, writing books and telling people how to feel and how to mourn and using other people that have been through the same thing. And they want to equal that to experience is the best. He's not the best. Oh, shut up. What do you know about losing a child? To hell with most of people who don't have any sympathy or empathy, who don't think that we need a little break, even a long break. Screw you. A lot of people are praying that your children never die. Yet you see the child of somebody that dies and you tell them, hey, she'd have snapped out of it. It's been 3 years. When Sandra lost her baby, when Yabo lost her baby, when BC lost her baby. Have you lost one? Are you praying to lose one? And how old was your child when you lost them? Even in pregnancy, some mothers still think about it. You have twins, one dies. Every day of your life till you die, you see that other twin that is not there. And you kajati. A lot of people are wicked and mean, and they say that because they don't really want to financially help you. So to the mothers that have lost a child, don't feel apologetic for the way you feel. That is why a lot of you are ending up in mental homes and thinking that you have a mental issue. You do not have any mental issue. You lost something that's why I stopped going to funerals. And sometimes I stop going to churches. And when I go, even to the ones that I love, I walk out. Because the way they phrase it just is upsetting. Lord, we pray that we will never lose a child. Satan, you will never take a child. And so I say to myself, how about those that have lost children? You don't come back and revert even as you pray that, like we prayed over our own children that are living. But then you don't have the sensitivity to say, Lord, and in our midst tonight, for all those that have ever lost children or buried the child, regardless of what stage of growth those children are. Father, we ask that you continue to uphold and comfort them, that you meet them at the point of their needs, that you heal their heart according to the preferences, that you meet them at the baseline of their discomfort, that you provide an avenue for them to open up their voices, that everything that the devil has stolen in the time of money, that God will restore. That what the cankerworm has stolen, Father, you will restore. That his strength and his mercy will continue to dwell with us. You never remember to tell, Lord, even as I pray tonight, that everybody that has ever buried a child, man or woman, that feels that hurt, that feel robbed, that feel hurt, Father, that you will heal their hurts. In the mighty name of Jesus, that you will open door, that you will restore, not just, 9 years. And the district attorney general's office still sends me subpoena. Miss Oshodi, we need you to be in court next week. And so I buy a ticket from California. 500. I buy another one back. 400. Have lost work for 3 days. I haven't been, it's just been still spending 3,000 to 5,000 a year over a son that was murdered 9 years ago. And then you see me and say, oh, she should have gotten over it. After it's been 9 years, the son died. Oh. A lot of people are really very insensitive. But you know what? At 55, I am determined to pick and choose those whose words can hurt. If you are insensitive and you say it, I will correct you right there. I have decided not to let those words that are bothersome and wicked and callous escape. You know what I mean? In a very nice way. If people don't know how to act about people that are mourning, I will teach you to be kind. God has given me the gift of redirecting your ignorance in a very nice, classy, subtle, no straight, no gutter way. Jọ̀ọ́ kí lẹ wí lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà pé lóòótọ́ ni ọdún mẹ́sàn-án but iye ọdún wo lẹ́yìn gbàdúrà kan tó bá jẹ́ pé ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí tẹ̀tí fíìpù pẹ̀ ti lè fi move on nígbà yẹn tí oyún tẹ́ ẹ gbé gbogbo owó tẹ́ ẹ san lórí ẹ̀ àti ìyà tẹ́ ẹ jẹ tí ò fi ní mátà sí yín mọ́ ìyẹn àwọn ọmọ tí mò ń wò lẹ̀ yìí ọdún mélòó lẹ fún wọn tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn lè ṣú lù pa tó jẹ́ pé because I know God didn't kill my child. I didn't mispronounce that. God might have allowed it, but God wouldn't hurt me like that. So if you look at your child running around and playing and basketball and all the money you put into them and how they make you feel prideful, because I know children increase our pride. They give us, I mean, those who know me, Elizabeth Adeola Oshodilaye, ẹjọ èmi gan máa sọ fúnra mi pé mo mọ̀ pé mò ń wọ̀wọ̀ kú wọ̀. I love dressing like that láti kékeré ni. When you give me something to take to the tailor, my father will say, don't give it to her, don't give it to her. Diola lẹ gbaṣọ fún. So it's not now that people will start telling me, she likes to open her shoulders. That's just me. That's been me. And if my father had allowed me to be a fashion designer, God knows maybe I would have been a millionaire. You know what I'm talking about? But that's for another day. There's nothing people will not say. But that has nothing to do with the fact that my child died. It has nothing to do with the fact that I wasn't praying. Pastors' children die. Evangelist children die. Imam's children die. Our first children and wife and everything, the whole house perishes in one day. It doesn't matter how you hide under being biblical, being religious, how you pray. It is not everybody that's going to have children. It is not everybody that's going to get pregnant. It is not everybody that's going to enjoy their children to the last age. It is not everybody that is. I know a woman here, third world. I live in Houston, Texas. Her son died coming to visit her in church. 2 years later, it was on the news. The deputy governor was saying, Inspector General of Police was saying, I don't even know how to confront her. She's a pastor. The children were not selling drugs, but she lived in third world where she was ministering to the people that live that kind of lifestyle. And as the second son, only child left, got out of the car, it got shot the same way. Now, those are the kind of nightmares that we don't pray. But she went through that. So don't think it is your length of running to church of you better learn how to be merciful and kind to those that have lost children around you. And don't think that you know how to do it better. I don't care if you are bathing with bitter leaf, sleeping on top of the rock, hiding under the sun. God knows what he has planned for everybody. It is not your mother's witch. It is not your father's prayerfulness. It is not your... God's will be done. So learn to either shut your mouth up and get out of the way. Let those who can help those that have lost children, help them mourn. Or you learn to just... it's not everybody that's cut out for healing. Well, it's not everybody that's cut out to help other people heal. It's not everybody. Tó bá jẹ́ pé 1 hour, that's when your sympathy allows you to stay. Sorry, mama, and shut your mouth up and sit your ass down. You don't have to say anything more than ekpele o, may God strengthen you. That's all you need to do. Don't rationalize. My own blood sister said to me, we were watching TV and my son got arrested. We saw the picture of black boys that got arrested. And they're taking me to a place because I was supposed to be in mourning. We were watching TV and she said, Tọ́lọ́hun bá ń ṣe oore àló ṣe bí. I said, Kileri. She said in Yoruba, bóyá lóhun ti mọ̀ pé David máa borúkọ ẹbí jẹ́ ló ṣe jẹ́ kán pa á. People will defend God foolishly enough, like Al-Qaeda's, at the expense of your love, your comfort, your relevance. Ngbà tí ẹni tó jẹ́ ọmọ ìyá mi tó jáde nú ìdí kan náà pẹ̀lú ìyá mi bá sọ yẹn fún mi, tí mo dẹ̀ tún fìfẹ́ lò, ẹ mọ̀ pé nǹkan tẹ́lòmíì ń sọ sí mi ń ta ó jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Lying accuse me directly without seeing my son in handcuffs in jail, without even knowing the basis of his murder. David was murdered when he was going out in Houston. The girl's name was Victory. I never knew her. I knew Tokwe. Unfortunately, Shema Womowa, he went to the street club a couple of times with his friends. That was where he met this Victory, because she happened to have been working at the Blue Zone car wash right here on Highway 6, very close to me. But I never met her. She knew me, but I never knew her. Obviously, maybe thought I would not approve. She was a stripper. And something had happened between David and this girl. And the girl was Nigerian, Igbo girl. So something had happened between David and this girl. And David had gone over to her house to have a discussion with her. I think he got into altercation. So she called one of her friends, called Christopher James. And he came over. And David was you know. So... and he was 24. He was a man of his own. So he just said to Victory, why would you let this kind of, person talk to me this way? And he flicked up the guy, went into his car and drove off. According to the special prosecutor's witness, that was the day my son signed his death warrant, because the guy really felt disrespected. So he arranges 4 other guys, plus Victory's best friend called Shakia Cruz. And then they followed him around for 5 days. And when they targeted the fact that David was by himself in his house, he had left his friends on West Timer to go home. He had cameras and everything. I don't know what happened to the cameras, but at that point in time, they weren't working. Was staying at the Shadowbray apartment on half West Timer. So Shakia had gone to the door and knocked on the door like she was coming to visit with Victory. And David looked through the keyhole, saw that it was a familiar face, and opened up the door for this girl to come in with his girlfriend, of course. And the 4 boys rushed in. And according to Valetta, that was immediately they held David around the neck. And Christopher wouldn't stop beating him until he died. So, to the best of my knowledge, from what I understand from the Harris County Special Prosecutor's Office, they have the 4 of the 5. There were 4 boys and 1 girl, 1 woman. She was 21, strangled my son at 27. She just killed another boy, Valentine 2020. So when the when the Attorney General's office called me to let me know that actually they didn't call me. It was my son follows up the story. So calls me, sent me the story and said, Mama, I don't want you to read this on the news. I wanted you to see it first, of how Shakia Cruz had killed somebody else. And I now called the lady. There's a lady that is designated to talk to me most of the time. But how do you designate somebody that's never had a child to talk to somebody that lost a child? This is a lady that I will call sometimes. She tell me, oh, it's a holiday time. If you don't mind, I really don't like to talk about work on holiday. If you call, sorry, I'm so out of town. So you designate somebody. You don't even try to do the matching, right? And once they do that, there's nobody for you to complain to. And then I've never really spoken, except for the ones who went to register with the special prosecutor that was assigned, Nunri. Alvin Nunri. He will never talk to me. He's only spoken to me once in the 9 years that my son got killed. They just do whatever they want to do. And when you call the Attorney General's office to complain, nobody listens to you. Everybody tells you, oh, you have a special prosecutor in case. But you could never talk to the special prosecutor. Never. I've only spoken to Nunri. Alvin Nunri. Houston, Harris County Systems assigned him to me as my special prosecutor. I've never but once spoken to this man. You call his office, the secretaries are ready to bang the phone on you because you keep calling. And don't worry, there's somebody that will call you. There's somebody who call you. It's just been a mess. So if I don't learn to be strong, you think it is the movie you watch, Law and Order, how they portray the police to be. You think that is what will happen. Anyway, that's for another day. I hope you don't find out yourself. So get the reality. What you see on TV as movies is different. What happens in real life is different because the level of justice you get is just like everywhere. There's one level of justice for Biden. There's one level of justice for Trump. If I did half of what Trump did and has been doing, I'll be in jail now. They will have thrown away the key. So you all know the way this thing works. But I'm just telling you, it's no different from when you lost a child. If you will, may you never lose one. But as for me that has lost the child, unless now it becomes picked up by the media, by something that happens, maybe those same people kill another one again, like Shakira Cruz killed another boy on Valentine 2020, right? She was actually just shooting like James Bond, on the street. They called. So when when I was talking to the special prosecutor's office, they said, well, she's in custody in Harris County. I said, in custody at last. After 9 years. People. They said she'll be held. No, don't hold her. If you don't release her again, don't, in fact, give her bailless, don't take bond from her. Bondless bail. If you all don't release her again, you are all bastards. You need to release her so that this time around, maybe she'll kill your own children. Oh, you know to hold her now that she has killed the second boy? Comedy. Now they know to hold her. The next time they release her, maybe she'll be killing their own children. Life is a balance. Allow yourself to be free. Allow your heart to cry and to laugh. Feel the pain and learn to manage it. The beauty of life is, how a car is when it's somersault. And then they take it to the panel beater. And you can't see a single trace. Well, more, you know that. But it's not in a disgraceful way where it becomes an Elia way, sort of a mockery way where people say, I don't want to know what kind of a car is this? Why is this? No. In an amazing way, where people look at, you mean that is the broken truck? Oh my God, look at the lamps. Oh, you mean they could ever feel the scratch? Oh my God, look, this painter did a marvelous job. This is as good as new. That is what our lives need to be. You cry in your closet. You come out. You hold your own. But through it all, you have to be kind. Your life is worth fighting for. Your living children are worth fighting for. Even the best of us, gone. It's gone. Don't let your sentiments take too much of your reality. It's okay to be sentimental. It's okay to get emotional. But don't dwell in there, because that is not the currency that this world operates on. That is not the flow and the kind of energy that drives. Just because we lose our children does not mean that we become beggars. Does not mean that we lose our minds and let people treat us like we're crazy, like we are dysfunctional, or we are underperforming, or that we're not, or we can't break through or break grounds. We can do a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff we can still do. We're useful. We're humans. It is true, our heart is hurt in an incomparable way. But it doesn't make us less of a human, complete human being. Please. Who remembers this? Remember that? That's beautiful. I like that. I like that. We're doing that when we're kids. Those are the kind of things that I see, and it is well. Our children make up most of our lives than we like to believe. But then you ask, how do the people who don't have kids survive? You can only see as far as you look. And it's also the same of a different thing. You can only look as far as you can see. As situations change, and in each one, God is able to help us walk through it. So when people ask me, are you happy? I answer them the same way. Happiness is overrated. Sometimes when you're feeling that, what they call happiness is what people understand it to be. I have joy. Sometimes I'm able to laugh out loud. Sometimes I mind my business. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes don't box me with how you think I should be feeling or giving you the statistics of where my life or my feelings or my emotions are. You don't even have a right to ask me those things. There are a lot of homes that have been broken because they see the camera and they start asking them foolish questions and they answer. You answer those questions in what you call honesty and your life changes. You lose your friends. You break your homes. No, you ask them. If you were sitting here and I asked you that question, what would you say? You think the world is that marvelous that you go out there and you just say things according to how you really think it is? That's why I don't fight. Muhammad Ali fights. You know how much he made? All these fighters, you know how much they make? Why would I fight for free now? There are things that I won't do. I just, either you are in, you are out, you are manageable, as in we can work together. And if I see that we can work together, you just go. Kò gbàjà rárá. We don't have to fight. You can know how to abuse, because I know that Nigerians love that, especially the Yoruba. They think it is funny when other people begin to abuse themselves, and I'm past that. Those things are too ordinary and too mundane for me. It's not by force that we all have to go the same way now. There's nobody that says that the people that are not educated and that are illiterate shouldn't make money. But there's no way in heavens that they should come and take over the center page of our lives. You go to school, you're cultured, you're nurtured, you're classy. That is still your right. We don't have to degrade ourselves to become like straight gutter mouth just to fit in. It is not always that we have to do those things. God did not cut one pattern. So it is okay. Let everybody do what they do. Once in a while, we move into each other's spaces and then we move out. We don't have to stay there. I don't have to sound like I'm gutter, I'm slut, I'm dog, I'm zina, I'm powerful, I'm weak. No, don't box me. Don't define me. I can be anything I want to be when I want to be as my life works. That is what I'm going to be. I owe nobody any excuses or apologies. Because you know what? God has given me the power to be my own boss. I'm autonomous. I'm a woman. I know what I want. And if I'm wrong about it, it's okay. I apologize and make a U-turn and then I'll start again. But I will in no way give any one person, not even a husband if I had one, the chance to completely rule my life I've always been like that. Ask my ex-husband, he'll tell you. He just didn't understand who I was. They thought it was stubbornness. It's not called stubbornness. It's willfulness from the inside, because that's how God has created me. Not all women are weak. And if all women are weak, I am not your bone of bone or 7 rib or 6 rib. So when you meet a woman on the street, they are not your weaker vessel. Your wife is your weaker vessel. And those that you control and you stamp over are your weaker vessels. But when you meet me in the street, you meet a woman that has worked on herself. Not those prostitutes. So that is on them. But when you meet a woman in the workplace, all dressed up and nice and presentable, and contented with her life, not selling anything that shouldn't be sold to you, please don't talk to her disrespectfully. If you do, you just might meet some of me in her, and I will tell you how I want to be treated, how I like to be spoken to. Even if I'm making love, you bite my breast too hard, I'll tell you to stop. It is my breast. All these things cost money. You think it is free? I want hypocrites, jati. It is not. It takes money to take care of myself. I'm not your wife. I'm a woman, but not your woman. So we all still need that to respect each other. Well, that I could send it to me. And I see the disrespect happen to a lot of women. But it hardly happens to me. Because I see you as a person, as an individual. Not how rich you are, how poor you are, what your specialty is, what your expertise is, because Ọlọ́run ló mọ̀la, Tamola, Olúwa ló mọ̀la. It means only God knows and understands tomorrow. And on that note, I'm going to leave you. Please, alcohol, drugs, depression doesn't resolve the loss of a child. Sometimes some people have to go through those phases. Once in a while, I don't mind, I'll drink, but I've never been the straight up type. I like Miss Sprite in beer, Coke and Remy once in a while. But see, the fear that I have in my life is having to go beg for help. Mi ò fẹ́ tọrọ jẹ. I don't want to be in a situation where I have to go and beg somebody for help. Wàhálà ayé mi nìyẹn. And it has been a good thing that has helped me. So I'm going to leave you right now. I'll try to do some of these videos once in a while. So today, September 22nd, I went back and opened my retirement plan. People say, I have a lot of retirement. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa kó ayé wa work out bá ṣe fẹ́. But your life is not mine. So don't compare and say, oh, she only has $5 in her retirement. That's not your goddamn business. And I didn't come to you to beg for money. Ọlọ́run á tọ́jú ọ̀la mi. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí ní 50 million. Congratulations. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ ká rí gbogbo wa rí lò bá ṣe fẹ́. But I pulled out mine to bury my son. I pray that will never be the portion of any of you watching me. And I start again. But Iberu, so you think I'll die now? They'll throw my body on the streets. Now people will, àwọn èèyàn burú tó yẹn, abẹ́ burú léèyàn tó yẹn ni. Ẹ̀yin náà gbàtẹ́ ẹ̀fọ́rí gbálẹ̀ irú baby báyìí, baby good baby nice baby báyìí àwa ní ẹ fẹ́ sòkú mi síta gbàtẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe èrè. But I don't want that to be my portion. So then you know that but just let mama fi pèsè no lọ́wọ́ ṣe pè fele ya bá aṣọ mú àtúnṣe ya Ọlọ́run ní fún yín ṣe. I just to my retirement major, and besides my son has a lot of pride. He doesn't like to beg like me, so it's better I start making room for those things. So yes, and you know when David was when David death announcement was made, I was at Arlington University doing my BSN, so I stopped, abandoned it. I had to cost the cost off. I didn't even remember for the next 3, 4 months if I was in school, if I was a girl or a boy. I was in shock. So it ballooned, it ballooned. So this loan forgiveness that Biden is going to give is going to be of great help to me. I think the 8,000 I took and abandoned the cost in the midst of it blew up to 16,000, and I've been servicing that loan for that long. And anyway, I went through and paid cash to do my school. So I went back to college, and July 27th, my father was buried on the 29th. July 27th, I graduated from school. So I have my BSN, and as I speak, I'm struggling doing my P, PMHMP, psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner course. I'll take one day at a time. It's a lot. I think now I have to pay 3,000 every 8 weeks, and plus full-time school, plus work, plus, so it's quite a struggle. But that's not why I came today. I came because I wanted you to know that today, I restarted my retirement plan. So one more step forward. It is well. Take care. Bye. This not my real face. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye. Love you all. Elizabeth Adeola Shidi. Love you. Bye.